Let's go ahead in our portion. You had a weekend, and it's a very dangerous thing in life because that can make you forget things that you have done. So let me remind you, we were in the second chapter, double taxation avoidance agreement. We have actually finished the entire chapter. Finished the entire chapter with the concept of bilateral, with the concept of unilateral. For explanation of the concept of unilateral, I have also completed one example. The only thing left to do in the chapter is second example of unilateral relief, a little complicated example which will give you better idea of the concept. Once we do that second example, DTAA is over. We do the questions and we move ahead in our portion. You all remember this? Okay. So that things are comfortable in class, just quickly tell me. See, now things like these will depend on your participation in class. If you participate, I'll continue doing this. If you don't, I will stop it. For example, if I ask you, globally there are two principles of levy of tax, I expect an immediate answer. That is source of principle, lol, principle of residence and principle of source. This will result in double taxation. Juridical double taxation is when it is paid by the same person, and economic double taxation is when it is paid by two different people. Relief is available only under juridical double taxation when both countries cooperate with each other and enter into an agreement called double taxation avoidance agreement, treaty or convention. We call it bilateral relief. And whenever there is non-cooperation between the two countries, then we will have to provide unilateral relief under section 91. And in order to provide unilateral relief, there is only one thing which you have to actually check. Main thing, primary thing, only thing which is relevant. What is that only condition that you have to check? If the assessee is resident, then the remaining three conditions will be automatically taken care of. If you remember the calculation also, I'll just quickly take you to the first example that we have done, because we had a gap of a weekend. That is why I'm doing it. If you remember, the whole idea is basically Indian tax or foreign tax, whichever is lower. So for Indian tax, you have to do average rate, 3 steps: total income, total tax, average rate. Foreign rate will always be given, and lower of the two will be your relief. But on what income? Not the entire income, only on that income on which you have paid double tax. So doubly tax income include into the lower rate is going to be your relief. You all remember the steps? You have revised or no? Okay, chalo. Let's do a more complicated example, and then we will declare our DTAA chapter as over. Example number 2. Mr. X, once again resident. What is the significance of assessee being a resident under unilateral relief? What is the important? Then only it will be available. If the assessee is non-resident, then the relief is not going to be available only. Age 33 years. Of course, age is relevant to decide the basic exemption limit. So Mr. X, resident age 33 years, is giving you details. Indian income 12 lakh rupees, and he also has got foreign income of 10 lakh. Indian income 12 lakh, foreign income 10 lakh, and the foreign country in which he has earned this income has applied 12% income tax. So what is the rate of income tax in the foreign country? 12%. Okay. And now the painful thing of his life, the bad news, the sad news of his life. India does not have a double taxation avoidance agreement with that foreign country. No DTAA. First, let's see if double taxation has taken place. Indian income of 12 lakh rupees. Will it be taxable in India? Because residence is also there and source is also there. Very good. 10 lakh rupees. 10 lakh rupees. Acha, by the way, let's still talk about 12 lakh. Is it taxable in the foreign country? 12 lakh rupees? 12. No, because neither residence nor source, both are in India only. So till now there is no double taxation. Now let's talk about 10 lakh rupees. Is it taxable in India? Despite the fact that it is earned in a foreign country, why so? Residence, global income, correct or no? And whether it is taxed in the foreign country, lol, principle of source question has already told us. Yes, it has been taxed. That means first question, has double taxation taken place?
Yes.
Yes. So do one thing, go read the treaty and provide the relief as per the treaty. There is no treaty. The moment there is no treaty, there is only one way of giving relief. Unilateral. And now for unilateral, only one thing is required, only one thing to be checked. If that is taken care of, then unilateral relief will be given. What is that only relevant thing? Assessee has to be a resident. Is the assessee a resident? So eligible for relief. And thus the whole idea, the whole calculation is Indian tax or foreign tax, whichever is lower. Indian tax in 3 steps: total income, total tax, average rate. Foreign rate is given, take whichever is lower and applied. The question is, sir, you told us that I am doing a more complicated example. You told us that I am doing something extra. If you observe carefully, the data in example 2 is drastically similar to data in example 1. What is the only thing that has changed? Only these amounts and this rate. Otherwise, name of the assessee, residential status, age, no DTAA, all other details are same. Do you observe this? 8 lakh and 7 lakh have become 12 lakh and 10 lakh. Rate of 20 has become 12. Apart from that, everything else is same only, no? Sir, when everything is same, it's only change in numbers. Why do you say that it is a complicated example? Now I will bring that complication. Till now, this is a very, very easy and straightforward example. If I leave it here and I ask you to solve it, you just have to follow these steps. You will be able to solve it again on your own. The real complication will start now, and for which every student has to pay very, very careful attention, because this is what is going to complicate things, and this is the reason why I am doing example 2. If this was not the reason, I could have directly gone to the questions. Right now, chapter is already over. The foreign income that you have earned of rupees 10 lakh, the question has given further information that this 10 lakh is in the nature of royalty. Royalty. What do you understand or mean by the term royalty, except the fact that it used to be a nightclub in Bandra, it is shut down now. I am not talking about that royalty. What is this royalty? You have any idea? You've never come across this term, this word before in life. Tell me whatever you are aware of.
Maybe you're using someone's know-how or something, technology for that technology of making something, some amount, that is called royalty.
So using technology is an example. If you're using someone's brand, that is another example. Using someone's drawing, design, patent, trademark, copyright, these are all examples. If I have to tell you the meaning, and this will help you not just here, at multiple places in your entire syllabus. Whenever I use your movable property like land, building, plant, machinery, I will pay you rent. The user will pay the owner something called rent. But if the property is an intangible asset, then that rent will become royalty. Royalty is the rent of intangible assets. And even more appropriate, if you want to use another better word, royalty is the rent to use intellectual property, that is intangible asset. So supposingly I am an author. I have written some of the most used best-selling books of CA Final. 3 out of them already you have received also. I have written a book. I have got technical knowledge of how to write the book. What should be the correct answer to the MCQ? If I am making the color book, which color should be used for what? What meme can be incorporated in the book for better presentation of my book? I have got technical knowledge. Once I have written the book, how to print it, how to publish, how to do the sales, how to do the marketing, I am anyways very poor at all that. So there will be a company who will make sale. Every time a book will get sold, a certain proportion will be paid to the author. That is royalty on copyright. The publication house will pay to the author. And just a piece of information about this royalty income in income tax. I am not teaching you. I am just telling you. In income tax, there is a section 80QQB. I know you don't know anything about the section, but by looking at the number of the section, at least you can identify that it is a part of deductions under chapter 6A. Chapter 6A deduction. Whenever you earn royalty income from copyright, the author who is earning this income, you understand 10 lakh is income for the author. Against this 10 lakh, you are allowed to take a chapter 6A deduction of maximum 3 lakh rupees. It is not flat 3 lakh, it is maximum. Listen, this is 10 lakh, no? So the deduction will be 3 lakh. If this was only 1 lakh, then the deduction will be restricted to 1 lakh. Even if you have other income of 12 lakh, your deduction will never exceed this income. Or let me put it this way, this deduction you can take only against this income. You cannot take against any other income. We call such deductions income related deduction, income specific deduction, deductions which can be taken only from a particular income. So this deduction can be taken only from royalty income. So you will have to go and identify what is your royalty income. In our example, how much is the royalty income? 10 lakh. That full 10 lakh will go in IFOS. That full 10 lakh will come in gross total income. And because it is higher than 3 lakh, you can take full deduction of 3 lakh. Instead of 10, if it was 1 lakh, then only 1 lakh will go in IFOS. It will come in GTI and then your deduction will be only 1 lakh. In other words, actual royalty or rupees 3 lakh, whichever is lower. 3 lakh is not flat, it is maximum. One more thing I would like to tell you, it is a deduction, not an exemption. So when you are computing your income from other sources, you have to take full 10 lakh. You cannot take 7 over there. Take full 10 lakh. In GTI, full 10 lakh. From GTI, you will get deduction under chapter 6. The difference between exemption and deduction is, exemptions are not included in our income. Agriculture income, share of profit from partnership firm, etc. Deductions are first included, then subtract. These are extremely basic points of CA intermediate, but I, with experience, know what is the basic level also that people study in CA inter. They clear only with the help of GST. I know, so I am only telling you these things. In coming days, one by one, we will come across topics and we will take care of them. As of now, the only piece of information is, against this royalty income of 10 lakh, assessee is eligible for a deduction of rupees 3 lakh. You understood that? And do you understand that this 3 lakh deduction is going to affect your total income as well as your tax liability? With this much additional information of deduction of 3 lakh, let us see how much twist will come. Don't forget, the calculation is still Indian tax or foreign tax, whichever is lower. That aspect has not changed. I hope you understand. Okay, let's see. What is our, now you tell me the steps. What is our first step in order to calculate relief? Step number 1, calculate the NTTI in India. Come on, be smart, be intelligent, show your talent. This is the right time to show it. What is your NTTI? Yes, please. Today only you have to give the answer. 19 lakhs. How did you get 19? 22 lakh is the total income. But from that 22 lakh, you are eligible for deduction. Never forget that gross total income minus chapter 6A is going to be your net income. Deduction is something that you are eligible. And thus, your GTI is 22, 10 plus 12, from which you have taken a deduction of 3 lakh. Accordingly, your NTTI will be 19. And how is this question different from the previous one? Please pay attention. For any assessee who follows normal provisions of income tax, the NTTI will be 19 lakhs. However, if an assessee decides to follow 115 BAC, what is 115 BAC? He won't be able. He will be going in the new taxation regime. And under the new taxation regime, if you observe in the first example that we did, there was not any tax benefit, no tax benefit which the assessee has taken, which is not allowed in new regime. But now in our second example, is there a tax benefit which the assessee has taken but it is not allowed in the new regime? Which benefit is that? That is chapter 6A deduction, which is not allowed, and accordingly the NTTI this time will be 22 minus 0, that is 22 lakh. Can I say we have added back our 80 QQB deduction? In 19, if you add back 3 lakh, you would have got the same answer. And now you will have to calculate not one but two tax liabilities. On 19 lakh as per old regime and on 22 lakh as per new regime. Did you understand? That is going to be your, at least you remember the step number 2, tax liability in India. As per normal provisions, you will calculate tax on 19 lakh as per old regime and as per new regime 115 BAC on 22 lakh. We have already done tax rates in the first chapter. Please help me with the tax liability under the old regime and under the new regime. Now go open your cupboard, remove your calculator, search where you have kept it. Old it is how much? 382. If this answer comes wrong later and you come and tell me, any other student of the class, that sir, this answer was wrong, I will come home and slap you. Because why were you sleeping in class? You do not have paid assistants out here. It is the responsibility of every student to solve this, because if everyone solves, then definitely we will come to know if there is something right or wrong, because mostly this is wrong. Correct it, please. Why do you say 397? What changed suddenly?
So it is HEC which is not added.
And if you remember, when we calculate tax here, we have to calculate the total tax without any relief. So listen, in the old regime, I would just like to remind you, can I say 9 lakh into 30%? 270 plus 1 lakh 12,500, because assessee is not a senior citizen. That will make it 380 to 500. That is only your basic tax. In this basic tax, you will have to add 4%. Says 3 lakh.
97,000.
Is this right now? And now let's go to the tax as per 115 BAC. First tell me on what amount you will apply 30%. 30% of 22 lakh. Rubbish. So 30% of 7 lakh plus how much amount? Fixed tax. 180 to 500. Wrong answer. 1,87,500. Because he is not a senior citizen. If he was a senior citizen, then same. So 7 lakh into 30% plus 1,87,500. Will that be your final answer here? No. Add says. Tell me how much do you get? Wrong answer.
4,13,400.
You can't key in your buttons properly and calculate tax liability properly, no? Then you need to go back to CA intermediate. I'll tell you the calculation again. 7 lakh into 30%. 2,10,000 plus 187,500. That's how much? 397,500 plus 4%. Now are you getting 413,400 everyone? If at this stage you see that this is lower and you take this as your answer and you go ahead, you will face the most disastrous situation in life. Biggest mistake of life you will make if you go ahead with this amount, because it is highly possible that in your final answer this comes as the lower figure. This is your tax before relief. If this tax is higher, do you understand the average rate also will be higher? Then it is possible that the relief you get is also higher. And thus, it is very much possible that your answer can change. All I am trying to tell you is, you don't stop here. You will continue with both tax liabilities in your story. What is step number 3 after we do tax calculation in unilateral relief calculation? Average rate of tax. In India, we are still in the Indian tax rate. Foreign rate is always clearly given to us in the question. Average rate of tax. Observe carefully, we have got two tax liabilities, 397, 413, 400. But at the same time, do you also observe they are calculated on two different incomes? So when we calculate average rate of tax, under normal, it is going to be 397,000 divided by 19 lakh into 100. And under 115 BAC, 413, 400 divided by what into 100? Because this was calculated not on 19 lakh, this was calculated on 22 lakh. So on whatever amount you have calculated, that is the amount that you have to take. 2 decimals please for both of them. 20.89. Okay. 18.79. Excellent. 20.89 and 18.79. So now we have derived the Indian tax rate, correct? What will be our next step? Which is always given to us in the question. Foreign rate. That is how much? 12. It can be 12, it can be 22, it can be 19%, it can be anything. It will depend from question to question. It will always be given to you in the question. And finally, we have to decide now. We will get relief as per the Indian rate or foreign rate, whichever is lower. And that we will have to check scheme wise. Scheme wise means under the old regime, under normal provisions, what is the Indian average rate? 20.89. Compare it with foreign rate of 12%. What is lower of the two? 12. And as per 115 BAC, the Indian rate is 18.79%. The foreign rate is 12%. What is lower of the two? Again 12. Do you understand? We have done the comparison individually. Indian or foreign, whichever is lower, Indian or foreign, whichever is lower. It's a mere coincidence that in both cases 12% is the lower rate. Please pay attention. Please pay attention. Huh? If this was, then what the hell are you doing in class? And that is the reason I told every student to calculate. I don't work like this, huh, please. Everybody check it again, okay? And I'll see the notebook of any, I'll pick up any student randomly and tell you, show your notebook on the camera. I want to see whether you've calculated the tax. I am not your servant, and so is, nor is the any other student of the classroom. Every student has to do it, and if you don't show your tax working in your notebook, I will remove you from the meet right now. I warned you at that time also that if this is wrong, I'll come home and slap you. What is the tax as per the old regime? Finally, and then you give dharna against ICAI that they don't make us pass exams. Idiots. Tell me the average rate of tax. 397, 800. Is the tax as per new regime correct or that is also wrong? Correct. So is the average rate also correct? Now you need to pay attention because I am explaining a very, very important concept. It's a mere coincidence that the foreign rate is lower, it's too low, and thus as per both regimes we are getting the lower rate of 12%. Please pay attention. If this rate was 22, then do you understand, in the old regime our answer would have been 20.94 and here 18.79, individually whichever is lower. Do you understand that? If this was maybe say 20, maybe 20%, then in the old regime our answer would have been 20 or 20.94. So 20, and in the new regime it would have been 20 or 18.75, 18.79. So that is 18.79. This comparison has to be done, Indian rate or foreign rate, whichever is lower, individual basis. Have you understood this? Finally, it's a coincidence that we are getting 12% in both, and thus we can very easily calculate. And some are wondering, sir, if finally the relief is at 12% only, then it is better to go as per old regime. Let's see. Relief under section 91. At least tell me in words what is the calculation of relief if you have revised the concept. Words. Very good. Doubly taxed income included in NTTI into the lower rate. Excellent. Fantastic. And now do you understand? Understand that the lower rate we are getting 12% for old as well as new both. So we can just take one amount for old as well as new and calculate our relief, correct? Or no? Or you have anything else to say? Okay, let's do one thing. Let's calculate one by one only. Normal and 115 BAC. Okay. At least rate we have decided that in both it is 12 only. No confusion here, no? This is so easy to understand. Excellent. On what amount? 7 lakh, 10 lakh, 22 lakh, 19 lakh. Let's talk about them one by one. First, let's talk about normal. Come on, tell me. Same 4 options are 7 lakh, 10 lakh, 19 lakh, 22 lakh. 7. You're saying 7. Foreign income is 10 lakh, but you are saying 7. Why? Any explanation? Because even while we have earned foreign income of 10 lakh, that means in the foreign country we have paid tax of, this is the explanation why I have taken the second example. This is the reason why I am doing the second example with you. This is the only thing that I wanted to explain to you here. Even while we have paid tax in the foreign country on 10 lakh, when we came to India, we did not pay tax on that entire amount of 10 lakh. We ended up taking deduction, and that deduction was taken against that 10 lakh only. So when I paid tax in India, we are still in the old regime. We are talking about the old regime. In the old regime, we have paid tax only on 19 lakh. This 397 was on 19 lakh. Yes or no? In this 19 lakh, we already have 12 lakh of Indian income. That means the foreign income is only the remaining amount of 7 lakh. So how has 10 magically become 7? Because we have taken deduction of 3 lakh rupees. And think about it. If you have taken deduction, that means in India on that 3 lakh, have you paid tax? And if you have not paid tax, that means that much amount has not been doubly taxed. Look at this word, doubly taxed amount, which is included in your NTTI. You have to take that amount. Accordingly, the relief here will be calculated only on 7 lakh rupees. Is this understood? So then now tell me, what about 115 BAC then? Same 4 options.
10 lakh.
Then why are you taking 10 lakh here? Because that deduction which you have taken in the old regime, you have not taken in the new regime. Make sense? So in the new regime, when you paid tax on 22, is your entire foreign income of 10 lakh included in that 22?
Yes.
And consequently, we will be taking full 10 lakh. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the main point of the question, that if at all you have taken any deduction against any particular income, then that income is not there only in your total income, then in that case you will be ineligible for relief on that much amount. You won't get any relief. And accordingly, in the old regime, because you have taken deduction, you get relief only on 7 lakh. In the new regime, because you have not taken deduction, you get relief on 10 lakh. Of course, now the remaining part, listen, this your calculator will do, and you all are so stupid, you all can't use calculator also. No, don't be upset with the words that I am using for you, because the way you behaved made me use this word. You will be able to do 7 lakh into 12% on your calculator, or you want me to do that also for you?
84,000.
Do you understand that in the new regime, if tax was higher, the relief is also higher? Because relief is calculated on the higher amount. See, listen, now, if I have to tell you to complete the tax calculation, that won't be difficult. Please pay attention to what I want to explain to you here. That is more important. Has everyone here understood this aspect? Old regime we have paid tax on 7, and new we have paid tax on full 10. Consequently, the respective amounts on which we have calculated that relief. That part is clear. But now listen. This worked like this because the 3 lakh deduction of 80 QQB was possible only against, did I tell you that this deduction can be taken only against 10 lakh, and that is the reason this was 7 and this was 10. Because here we have taken the deduction, here we have not taken the deduction. Because 3 lakh deduction is allowed against only that specific income. Did I tell you that if the royalty income was only 1 lakh, even if our Indian income is 12 lakh, our deduction will be restricted to 1 lakh, because we cannot take that deduction against our Indian income? Then only this calculation will come. Supposingly, let's change this concept. Supposingly, this deduction was not the royalty. This was not royalty income. This was like any other income, a random foreign income, like our example 1. And the deduction under chapter 6A that we have is, maybe your life insurance or medical insurance or donation. Let's say this 3 lakh was donation. Not royalty, but donation. The deduction of royalty can be taken only against a royalty income. But the deduction of donation can be taken against 12 also, can be taken against 10 also. It is at the discretion of the assessee. Do you understand what I am saying? In such a case, you know what ICAI has done in its suggested answer? They have assumed, supposingly this was 80G, they have assumed that this deduction is taken against 12 lakh. And thus, the entire foreign income of 10 lakh will be eligible for relief, whether old regime or new regime. Full amount will be eligible. Did you understand? So, if the deduction is such a deduction which can be taken only against that particular income, then you have no choice. You have to adjust it against your foreign income, and that much will be reduced from your amount eligible for relief. But if you have an option to take the deduction against other income also, deduction like life insurance, medical insurance can be taken against anything, then preferably take it against your Indian income, so that your entire foreign income remains eligible for relief. Did you understand this? So here, if you have really understood, tell me, this 80 QQB can be taken against which income? Does the assessee have choice of taking against 12 or 10? It can be taken only against 10. So we had to take it against 10, and thus the two amounts change. But if the assessee had a choice, if this was not 80QQB, if this was a deduction like 80G or 80C, and the assessee had choice to take it against other income, then we would have taken it against Indian income, and both amounts would have been 10 lakh, 10 lakh. Is this clear? At this stage, once a student asked me, a very, very intelligent, means I salute the brain of that student. Sir, you are saying that if the deduction can be taken only against the foreign income, then only we will take it that way. If we have the choice, then we will adjust it against Indian income. You all understood that? Sir, what if this is also royalty income? Brain, huh? Sir, what if the entire 22 is royalty income? Deduction will still be 3 lakh only. You only tell me, if entire amount is 12, 80 QQB deduction is allowed against royalty income. It is not Indian royalty or foreign royalty. You can take up to 3 lakh against royalty income. Then when you have the choice, where will you prefer to take the deduction? If this was also royalty, then where will you take the deduction? Come on, yes. Obviously the Indian income, and let the entire foreign income eligible for relief. Understood this answer? And then another student, more intelligent, superb question. Sir, both are royalty incomes. Listen, huh? Both are royalty incomes. This is only 1 lakh and this is 10 lakh. Indian is 1 lakh and foreign is 10 lakh. Total royalty income of 11 lakh. Also my GTI. You can take total 3 lakh. If you have the choice, preferably you will take deduction against Indian income, but that can be maximum 1 lakh. 1. The remaining 2 lakh, you don't have choice now. Indian income is eliminated. So you will have to take it against the foreign income. In short, the conclusion is, preferably, if allowed, take it against Indian income. And when you don't have the option, you will have to take it against your foreign income. And any deduction that you take against your foreign income, that much will reduce from your amount eligible for relief. Understood, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Congratulations, Abhinandanam. That was your chapter called Double Taxation Relief. Thank you very much.